Live and direct. What's up, Instagram? About to go live here. Got Kat is going to be coming on here in a second. Got another live interview. Should be fun. Learning about fitness, positive energy, and staying great. Kat.
Hi.
We got you on live.
Yes.
Broadway. What's up, Broadway? So, Kat, if you see anybody jump on, just give them a little shout out. We're starting to get some people jumping on now. One of my former players there, Kristen, Big Chris, coming on Broadway, a.k.a. Broadway. I see you, baby. Stop the run. I got my niece on there. Good to go. So, Kat, are you gonna stand or are you gonna sit? Which one? Are you gonna start doing? You gonna start doing a workout?
No, I could.
Well, we've been doing this. This is pretty cool. The last one we had this past weekend, we had my daughter during Father's Day, and then we are honored to have our guest, Kat with a K. Kat with a K. Really, really inspiring story. Just tremendous. We followed you. You liked a lot of our stuff. We followed you and, then, reached out to you and you told us a lot about your story. Extremely inspirational to all the people in the world. We wanted to have you share your story with us because I think this is what it's all about. Command heart, achieve outstanding success. And when we find somebody like yourself who's dedicated and driven, we want to get you on our team, man. And, we want to hear about your story because a lot of times we tell about our story. And I think it's really important in the fitness community and just the chaos community itself that we have people from different backgrounds and, different experiences that can share and just, help other people out along the way. The first thing I want to know, I've talked to you personally about this, but you did something tremendous, and what inspired your fitness journey. Tell us a little bit about your story, about where you went from to where you are now, where you were before fitness-wise.
So, I've always been involved in fitness. My bachelor's degree is in sports medicine. I was a team athletic trainer at the college level. My claim to fame is I used to take Chad Henney's ankles, and he's in the NFL. So, sports medicine was always kind of my passion. And then as I was graduating undergrad, I got pregnant. And that, was probably one of the first things that kind of changed my life around as I was about to be in. Being a new mom. And that had my first health challenge. So when I was giving birth to my son, about a month later, I went into multi-system organ failure and I had 22 gallstones and six of them dislodged. And I actually, I had to go in emergency surgery. And then, life keeps happening and, you're a parent, there's different priorities that happen and we all tend to make excuses, just to be honest. We try to make excuses like, oh, I'm too busy, I don't have the time. And so then 2017 happened, and that was the second really big pivotal moment in my life. And I had a heart attack at age 36.
Wow.
And people just couldn't believe it. I went to the emergency room. They're like, oh, you're young, you're working out 6 days a week, nothing to worry about. Then they came back and said, you know what, we're going to draw another lab just in case. And when that just in case lab came back, my troponin, which is a marker of damage to your heart, was actually 3 times the normal limit. So I underwent all the cardiac stuff. And it wasn't really, even after that heart attack, it still hadn't clicked that I needed to make these big life changes. So then last year, I started out 2019, I weighed 175 pounds. And so over the last year, I've lost more than 50 pounds. And, a lot of people don't get, I'm 39 years old. That's the thing I get the most from my friends is wow, you really inspired me to start moving, to start losing weight. hey, Kat, I haven't worked out in 5 years, and now I'm walking every day, or I'm trying to run a couple days a week. So I think a lot of times we have these limiting beliefs that we hold on to. And so mine for the last year, because I am a busy mom and I have a very busy career. I'm a manager at a health insurance company, and I have 30, 40 employees. So my excuse is I don't have time. And over the last year, I have found those ways to make time, because it's so important. If you don't make time, time is going to make time for you, and things will happen to your body that you don't have control over.
Absolutely.
That's how my fitness journey started. And we're not even at our best point yet. I always tell people, life seems really long when you're 20 years old, and then you blink and you're 40, and it still seems long. But really, life is so short that we have this short amount of time to really live and do the best that we can do. So I always tell people, go out there, be fearless, live your very best life possible.
Absolutely. Those are just two incredible things, and I didn't know about the heart attack at 36. And I definitely didn't know about the things that you went through the pregnancy, and just to overcome those things to get to the point where you're at now is incredible, and one of the things I think, we want to know is just like, how do you stay motivated? How do you stay motivated throughout the, cause it's very hard to stay consistent. What do you do to stay motivated?
I think motivation is only going to take any of us so far. So you have to be disciplined. You have to say, I'm going to, after I'm done working the evening, I'm going to walk every day, even if it's raining. Or I'm going to get up in the morning and I'm going to get on my treadmill, or I'm going to grab my friend and we're going to go for a walk in the park. Because discipline is going to pick you up when motivation stops. Because not every day or not every night am I motivated to go and do what I need to do. But when I look in the mirror and I see the accomplishments that I've made with my body, and I also feel the accomplishments, I have more energy. I'm more confident. I used to have a speech impediment when I was very young. So it also amazes people that I'm out there. I very rawly share my journey. If you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, any of those platforms, you know that I'm very open with everything that I've been through, because I hope that my journey speaks to someone and that inspires them to go out and say, I haven't worked out for 5 years either, but that, if that girl's 39 and she can do that, I think I could maybe go for a walk today. And it starts with those small steps. Mm-hmm. Again, discipline where motivation stops.
You get a lot of people, because I've noticed you do a lot of live stuff where you're doing workouts and things like that. Do you get a lot of people following you to do those things, and you get interaction?
I do. It's crazy. So I had 3, and I'm just a small town girl. I had 300 followers in the fall. Now I've all passed 4,000. And I look at the Instagram and it'll tell me my insights. I have close to 70,000 people watching every video that I post each day. And so that inspires me when I hear from people that will send me a message. And again, there's people that say I haven't worked out in a while and you're really motivating to me, or I'm not really there yet. Can you give me some tips? And so I give out what I do freely. I'll see a lot of people, they post the workouts, but they don't really connect with their followers. And that's the difference, is when people DM me, as long as it's not weird, I'm going to connect with people and say, hey, tell me a little bit about what have you been doing? Where are you? Where do you want to be? And I think that's the real difference, is that I'm giving something to people for free. Right. That's the free workouts that I post on Facebook, or that's just free nutrition advice. I feel like we got to give to people so that they can see the value. And, and they'll come back around and say, hey, I'd like to hire you to do my personal training, or I want to hire you to do my macros. So I really believe in trying to give back to people.
You have an intense meal program too, because I saw you post that. I was like, wow. I was like, I thought I ate well, but I mean, you have an intense. Tell me a little bit about that, your meal, basically your meal prep.
Okay, so it is pretty intense, and I give the props where they're due. So I have a really good friend named Brandon Crick. He runs Breakdown Athletics in Pennsylvania, and last year, this time last year, I hadn't lost a lot of weight yet. I was working out consistently. And he started talking to me about macros. And macros is the hardest concept for everyone to get. So I was like, what's macros? And so our macros are protein, fats, and carbs. And based off of what percentages you choose, it's going to help to fuel your goal. So if you want to gain weight, you want to do more carbs and protein and maybe some more fat. You want to lean out a little bit, you're going to drop those carbs down. So Brandon helped me really to understand nutrition. And, I thought I was doing great, and I was. And then this year I started doing some fitness challenges, and I always recommend fitness challenges to people. They're usually not too expensive, and you get some meal plans with them. So right now I'm doing a specific fitness challenge with a guy named Sadiq, and so I have a meal plan that I follow, and basically I have protein in the morning with breakfast. I do 4 meals a day, protein and some oatmeal and fruit. And that fruit I have in the morning is usually like the last carb that I get through the day as far as because a lot of people, they like to eat fruit all day long, and we realize that fruit has sugar in it, and it's good. It's not to be avoided. And then I'll do like 3 more meals, and they're
froze up. Cat froze up for a second. She was talking about fruit. Hey, you back?
How
Yeah.
goes. And I stick to it. I also don't cheat. A lot of people and my clients will come and say, I want to have a whole cheat day. Well, if you want to have a whole cheat day, that cheat day is going to turn into 2 cheat days and then 3 cheat days. So I recommend that people try and get in 1 cheat meal versus a full day of cheating.
Yeah.
Because I think our body gets used to what we have in it. So, and this is kind of like an odd comparison, but if you have an alcohol problem and you're recovering, you don't say, I'm going to have alcohol every Sunday, and that's cool. That's
yeah, right.
Your body's going to get used to it. So same thing if we say, every Sunday I'm just going to go on this full blast cheat all day. Your body's going to say hey buddy, what are you doing to me? So that's the philosophy that I use when I think and teach people about nutrition.
Yeah. Those are some super great tips, because if you even with our athletes, even professionally, with monitoring the macros and monitoring the amount of sugars you're taking in a day. Like everyone thinks, it's okay to drink a lot of Gatorade. Well, Gatorade, nothing against Gatorade, but Gatorade has a ton of sugar in it. And you got to be really, really careful how much Gatorade you actually put into your system. Oftentimes we'll water down the Gatorade for the athletes, just so you're getting electrolytes and things like that. But at the same point in time, you're not overdoing the sugars, And the one thing that's pretty cool is, I thought we were unique in the fact that we asked you to work with us, but you do work with a couple other brands, and Yellow Lab is one of them. Tell us what it's like to work with other brands like that, like Yellow Lab.
I wanted to. So I work with Yellowstone Labs, and I basically help to sell the supplements, mainly like protein and creatine and pre-workouts. And I got to tell you, one of their proteins is my favorite. Everyone does the cookies and cream. This protein actually has little cookies at the bottom. So that's kind of a cheat in itself, because I feel like I'm getting what I want. Every other protein shake that I've tried, it does not taste like cookies and cream, or it's not a good substitute. So I like repping Yellowstone Labs, because their products have really helped me get to the next level. I've put on a lot of lean muscle mass in a very short amount of time between the workouts I'm doing and the food that I'm eating. Mm-hmm. But, what you're putting in your body is going to come back to you 2- and 3-fold. And I can always tell people, I know what you're eating exactly by the way that your body looks, your muscles look, because, if you're vegan, if you're vegetarian, if you're eating red meat, if you're not, we really have to think about that food that we're choosing as fuel. And so in your car, don't put it in your body, because that get us through all the activities that we have through the day.
I'll tell you what now, Macy's or wherever you shop, Nordstrom, they must love you, because to lose 50 pounds, the wardrobe changed for that. 50 pounds, that's a lot of sizes. Was it fun doing all that shopping, changing up?
Yeah, it is. But you also got to deal with the people that critique, whether you're overweight and people critique you, or you're fit and they critique time, and that's not really the important part. For me, the important part is to keep it off. What I see happen to people over and over again, doing like a contest, or they're going to a trainer, is next year they're going to be back at that same shape that they were. So my whole goal is I got to maintain. I don't want that weight to come back on again, because living at 175 pounds for me. I didn't feel motivated. I didn't have energy. I didn't feel good about myself. And now I do. And the whole world has changed for me.
So did that influence you to create Fuel Your Fitness?
Yeah. So, I have this degree in sports medicine. This year I went and I got my personal training certification. And what I learned and all the things that I've been studying is 80% of weight loss never happens in that gym. It doesn't happen with our personal trainer. It doesn't happen outside of our home. So 80% of weight loss happens in our home. And so I started a company called Fuel Your Fitness. And the whole crux of it is that I do help personal trainers. So if there's someone that's struggling, that's just not getting over the hump, I come in and say, like, let's look at your fridge. Let's look at your cabinets. Let's go grocery shopping together. Let's look at how you meal prep. A lot of people do really well until they have to think about spices and salts and oils and butters and dressings.
Because that stuff's good.
About all that stuff. And that's why I tell a lot of clients, like, use FitnessPal and pay for the expanded version of FitnessPal because it's going to let you see all of those things. Like, I love the salads from Olive Garden and Panera, and then I went and put them in FitnessPal and was like, I'm totally over my count for the day. You don't realize how much fat and, salt is in salad dressing. So, I think that has also been part of my success. But so with Fuel Your Fitness, a lot of it is it's free nutrition advice where I show you how I meal prep, what types of things I use. If you're local to me, I'll come over to your home. We'll cook together. I do large group meal sessions. If you want to have like a date night with your friends, or you and your spouse want to learn how to cook. But I think nutrition is the big key, and it's the big thing that we miss. And most people are mind blown to think about. Like, when you're at the gym, most of the stuff is not going to happen at that gym. It's going to happen in your home.
Right.
Really gave me the impetus to start Fuel Your Fitness.
Right. So that was kind of the origins of why you started the business. You wanted to share your experience and your knowledge base with other people and show them how to do it. I mean,
Right.
Was that what like it?
Because that's what I want for people. I want you to be able to do this on your own. I don't want you to have to order from a meal prep service that's great in the short term goals and, the term, but long term, I want you to be able to do it for yourself.
If someone was out there and they were saying, what's the hardest part of starting your own fitness program? Like for people watching, like, okay, I'm gonna get started, but what's the hardest part, would you say?
I think people want to do too much too soon. And so I always remind people, like, this is a journey. It's not a sprint. And so you're not going to start out, if you work out 6 days a week and you eat completely cleanly and you don't do any cheats, probably in a couple weeks you're going to have problems, and it's going to start to, your weight progress is going to start to fall off. So I say slow but steady. Try 2 days at the gym. When you do 2 days for a couple weeks, like 3-4 weeks, then add a third day, then add a fourth day. Maybe challenge yourself. If you're running, try boxing. If you're boxing, try rowing, try swimming. Try and vary the types of exercises that you're doing, but don't take on too much too soon. And really, when people will come to me for the first time, we just make very, very small tweaks to macros of their nutrition, because I can't take off everything that you love to eat and then this is going to be a long-term habit for you. So we take very small steps.
Right. Well, that's good. That's good to have a plan. Basically, like in my line of work in football, we always talk about having a cadence. Like if you go all over the place and you go off script and you don't have direction, you never get to your goal, because when things are going on in a chaos manner, so to speak, if you don't have direction with a cadence, it's very hard to stay the course. Just like you said before, if you wake up and your regimen is to, eat cake when you first wake up, that's fine if that's your regimen, but you won't achieve your goals that you're setting, so having a cadence, that's kind of the same way we would talk to, in the football world, what's like your favorite exercise? I see you do a lot of stuff, and I love your kettlebell thing, kettlebell, that the whole, I love kettlebells. I'm going to ask you for a couple more exercises. I was doing figure eights in my garage. And I was scaring one of the coaches here. I was throwing it up. I was tapping it with, I get 2 taps and I catch it. He was like, well, what if you drop it? I go, well, it hits the ground. I mean, I don't. What's some of your favorite exercises?
Honestly, I tell people to get bands. So, if I have this simple band, I can do a number of things with it. I can come up and I can do a lateral. I can do a bicep curl. I can do 2. I can do an overhead press. So if people are starting out, I think my favorite thing to teach people is do bands or kettlebells. I built a gym over quarantine in my basement, and so I do a lot of my workouts there. For people, especially moms or dads that have young kids at home, it's hard to get to the gym, and then you have to out here. So, my favorite exercises right now, I do a lot of stuff at Breakdown. It's a CrossFit type of exercise. I really like being challenged, and you'll see me. I'll do next week with my boxing coach, Shaquem, or I might go swimming. I do rowing in the morning. I like to vary it, because I think then you don't get bored. I'll wake up next week and be like, oh, stinks. I don't want to try this anymore. So, always trying something new to do, I think is important.
Tell us about that home workout. Clearly, we're in a state of the pandemic. We don't, no one wants to be in the state. Everyone worked out from home. I did the same thing you did. I built a gym at home, basically. I mean, when the truck would pull up and the FedEx guy would look at me with such a terrible look, because, it was a 48-pound kettlebell or a complete, or 45-pound weights, things like that. Like, what did you do, or how did you adjust your workouts from home, or people that are still working out from home? How did they adjust?
And I think Tony also has a question. Tony wants to know, do I mix weight training with resistance? So I do. Resistance stuff I'll do as my warm up, or if I'm bored watching TV, I'll do the resistance bands up here. And then after I do the resistance bands and my body's fairly warm, then I get into the rigorous weight training. And let's go back to your question, Sean.
No, that's okay. The workouts from home, there's probably people still at home. And, what was the adjustment for your style, working your workout style at home?
I think even when the pandemic hit, I was in an office every day traveling, and, I had this great schedule. I could work out in the morning, go to work out in the evening. And then the pandemic hit, and I took on more job duties, and I was 16 hours a day every day. So again, I resorted to excuses oh, I'm too busy to work out now. And I did put some weight on. So I used a lot of kettlebell type of exercises. I started with bands, and then, I was able to buy some dumbbells. So I added dumbbells in. Ab work is important. We always forget about our core, which is what's holding us up during the day. So I added in, core work. I went on Beachbody and I signed up for their workouts for a couple months. There's lots of exercises that you can do at home, even with no equipment. And initially, when I started offering free workouts on the Fuel Your Fitness Facebook, I did a lot of just body weight exercises, because I didn't want people to have to invest in, dumbbells or bands. So we did a lot of body weight things. And I think it's just being creative, thinking about how you could get a quick workout in. When I'm at the counter and I'm in a conference call, I put the hip circle on, and I will do squats. I'll do lunges. I'll even, like I said, take out the band throughout the day and do some, because, if you're standing a lot and you weren't standing before, you're sitting a lot, you want to make sure that you're moving. And I think that's the most important thing for me to get across to people. You don't have to do a rigorous 55-minute workout every day. Move, whether that's walking or that's, swimming, or throwing the basketball with your kid or your football. Just get out there and move a little bit every day.
Everyone is going to go to work tomorrow, and they'll be sitting at their desk, and they're going to be in a meeting, and they're going to start doing stretches. And then the bosses, they're going to say, "Kat told me to do this." That's all you got to say. We do have a question though about the keto diet or the paleo diet.
Okay, so I don't prescribe myself to any of these diets. There's, if you want to talk to me offline about it, there's various reasons why I don't. I prescribe to being healthy and thinking about the food that I'm using as fuel for my body. So you know that you want to do keto and you want to eat a lot of fat and a lot of protein, that's okay. But when I think about like what bacon will do to your body over a certain amount of time, if that's all that you're eating, you're only eating cheese, butter, things that are high in fat, that's something I always tell people, talk to your doctor. And like once a year, I get my labs drawn, my CBC, my thyroid, and my vitamin D. Because those diets don't matter if my body's telling me that one of my lab values is off. And that's how I figure out like what vitamins do I need, what food for my body. There's no, like, I don't think it's right to say, oh, I only eat this one type of food or I only eat that one type of food. You have to eat fruits and vegetables. You need to get your protein in. How you choose to do that is really based on you. Some people are vegan or vegetarian. Some people only eat fish or pescatarians. Some people love red meat. And I'm not going to say any of that's wrong, but it has to be right for your body. So only real good for your body. And that's the reason why I don't recommend one diet or another. It has to be a lifelong habit. And diets are diets. We need to do it for a short amount of time.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was good. That was actually my niece that asked that question, so that was good. You knocked that out the park. So the cool thing is, because we're on this call together, is that you have your own discount code. So it's CAT15 with a K. CAT15. If you put in CAT15, you get 15% off the merch. So you got your own code now. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
CAT15. Tell me about your favorite pump-up song, right? Like, we all got to, honestly, I go probably to old school hardcore rap, DMX, Ice Cube. What's your favorite?
I like some of the new rap mixed rock. So Ryan Corbett was one of my people that I always have his songs in heavy rotation. Eminem, I was born in the 80s, so Eminem's about my same age. I'm probably dating myself. And then, just a mix of
Can you rap, Kat? Can you rap?
Yeah.
Let's spit some lyrics real quick.
No.
Come on!
People want to see me do, but singing is not one of them. So.
No, you got one lyric. You got one quick lyric.
I don't have one lyric. Stuff I like to listen to. And, it just depends on what type of exercise I'm doing. I'm always open to. Again, just like the food, like you can't say, oh, I hate that one thing, but I like this. Like, just be open.
Yeah. What we see you representing the Chaos shirt. How did you first hear about us?
So you guys, I basically crafted my life after training with certified personal trainers. Because even though I'm a trainer and I know a lot about fitness, I still want that person. So you got some friends over at I Am Fit Studios, and
my man Ernie. Yep.
And so I had been training with Ernie Groff for the better part of 12 years. He and I go back to the mid 2000s. So Ernie was really my first impetus and first experience with personal training. It was awesome. And so that's how I found out about you guys. And then, we just connected, and, I think probably people can't see, but this sports bra is cut so nicely, as well as the tanks that you guys have and the t-shirts. It's the first really easy things that I can choose to lift in. So, I tell people it's not just about the brand, but this stuff is really good quality clothing.
Oh, thank you. Good. We didn't pay her to say that either, guys. No, just so you know, where can people find you? If they want, because obviously, well, first of all, I'm just letting you know that there's multiple people asking for some lyrics, but I mean, that's up to you if you want to split. Even an Eminem line, that's cool. But where can people find you? Because you, again, we were really attracted to you from day one. And I Am Fit. I know you were connected with those guys. Ernie's a great job. Does a great job. He's taught me a lot about macros and things like that. I really love his approach to working out and all the people that work with him. Ashley and Emily and all those guys. But where can we find you at? If people are looking for you.
Yeah. Well, on the web, people can find me on the Instagram that Those Kettlebells, and my Facebook is Fuel Your Fitness CPT. So it has to be Fuel Your Fitness CPT.
Good.
And find me and connect with me on personal Facebook. It's Katherine, Katherine, Ketter, Ketter. And then, if you're local in PA, my mother's like, how many more gyms are you going to join? So, I have a couple personal training studios that I'm at that I work out of. Not that I work for them, but I, do my work. I love the Anytime Fitness because I get my workout in 24 hours a day. So those are kind of some of the places I like to go. Mm-hmm. But that's essentially how you can find me on the web is either Kathleen's Kettlebells Instagram or Fuel Your Fitness CPT on Facebook.
Okay. And who's your favorite football team? Who's your favorite NFL team?
Oh my gosh.
Huh?
I used to be a Jets girl. I had seasons.
Oh, no.
Everyone in college was like, ooh, like, stop. Yeah. So the other New York football team.
Okay. You're being honest. I wanted to put you on the spot. You're being honest. So, I just have a couple quick questions. Just, the transformation from being an athletic trainer at the collegiate level to doing what you're doing now. It's two different lifestyles. What was that for you? Like, how was that transition?
Well, being an athletic trainer is awesome. It's really a hard curriculum. It's like pre-med. So they tell you at your second year of athletic training, you cannot play sport anymore. You can only repeat one class one time. And you can only get one C one time. Everything else has to be B's. And so when you're not in class for athletic training, 2 p.m. is basically when the teams are coming in, getting ready to practice. So you're wrapping, you're taping, you're icing, you're stretching people. And then those games go until 10. And I also was, I was at the college and high school level. I mainly helped with men's sports. So soccer, football, baseball, basketball, lacrosse. And then I'm traveling with the team. So, I got to know a lot of the athletes really personally. And so it's all about full wellness, not just that physical wellness, but the emotional wellness, the mental wellness. It was really awesome. Knowing Chad Henne back in the day as a high school athlete and then seeing his career progress has been really cool, as well as like all of the other athletes that I've trained over the years.
Good. In those things, those qualities that you learn clearly keep you driven for what you're doing, whether it's in your business or in your personal endeavors as fitness and your fitness approach. I think all those are encompasses because a lot of the words that you use are words that we use in athletics all the time. Commitment, having a plan, and all that. But that's great. I'll tell you, we are so impressed by you. We are so impressed by your passion for what you do and your constant dedication. If anybody follows you, they'll see that this is not just some made up. Literally, it'll start at 6 o'clock in the morning or 5:30. I'll see the first post. I'm like, wow, she's up and at 'em. And sometimes it'll go late at night, and you're constantly giving information out and working out, and it's cool because you do it from your house or you do it in the gym, and you find ways to stay successfully fitness wise. And we commend you on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think. I'm very open. I want people to not just see, oh, this girl is really, in great shape, but I want them to see that whole journey. So what does my whole day look like from a food perspective? What does it look like from a workout perspective? I think people kind of take for granted all the things that don't happen, in front of them, all the things that happen behind the scenes.
Absolutely. Oh, I lost you for a second, buddy. You there?
I'm here.
All right, I lost you for a second. So, we want to thank you for joining us. And before we go off again, I want to make sure that you plug your Fuel for Fitness, how to get a hold of you on Fuel for Fitness, and I also want everybody to know that Kat has her own promotional code, CAT15. You got to use CAT15. She has her own promotional code, for doing all the great things you've done. But we really appreciate you joining us. I think a lot of people got a lot of great information. They still want you to spit some lyrics. I'm just letting you know. If you don't have one Eminem, like you can't paraphrase one.
Not that's appropriate for social for young kids.
All right. We'll leave it. You'll text it to us later. All right.
Yeah, text it to you later. Maybe next time I come back.
All right. Well, we really appreciate you. Once again, how can people get a hold of you again?
Okay, so Instagram, it's going to be Kat Does Kettlebells, all, one word. And then Facebook is Fuel Your Fitness CPT on Facebook.
All right. And I see Danny B from Danny B Sports on here. He thinks he has pretty big guns, but I want you to give him a good flex real quick. Show him what it's like. Yeah, Danny B. Yeah.
Woo.
You never. So thanks again, Kat, for joining us. We really, really appreciate you, and we look forward to working with you again in the future.
Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Sean.
You. All right.